everyone, I'm Grahtles, and welcome to a new episode of City Skylines. This is New Brighton, and if you're new to my channel and you don't know what I do Let's Plays, tutorials, tips, tricks on City Skylines, and I play a couple of other games as well. The last time we left off, we did ore industry, and I pretty much set that up exactly the same way I did the oil, and the traffic is flowing quite nicely. And while I did that episode, I had so much in-between time that I ended up putting in a European high-density area. And with that, I was going to make an episode all on its own. But when I actually started looking at the footage, it was not enough to really make an episode out of. So I will show you the European place that I put, which is right over here. And it's just pretty straightforward. I kind of gridded it out and just filled it in. So nothing spectacular happened except a couple of roads being run, and so I really didn't have enough for an episode. So with that said, this episode I did do our unique factories. So we had quite a few. I think I only put in the bakery and the furniture factory. So we had a lot of factories to put in. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So here's what I like to call my cheat sheet when it comes to unique factories. I printed this out a while ago, and it does help me to figure out what goes where and what I need for each one. So I'll keep a copy of this in the corners of the episode. So with each industry, you do have one factory that only has the needs of that industry. So for instance, you get a bakery with your farming, you get a furniture factory with the forestry, you get an industrial steel plant for the ore, and you get a plastics factory for the oil. So I was just going and putting in just where the specific things were. So like for instance, the bakery was already by a farming area. The furniture factory was pretty close to our forestry. I put a steel plant by the ore, and I put a plastics factory in the oil. Now, they don't necessarily have to be in the industry area, but for those four types, I really wanted them, because that was their kind of specialty, to be in their area. The other ones I will set up around different areas, and yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. I also add a lot of warehouses. So throughout, they need special things. So certain ones will need forestry and farming, certain ones will need oil and farming. So I kind of lay out a lot of different warehouses throughout to kind of supply the factories with those goods. So next, I just kind of am looking around, and I'm looking at different spots. Now, over here, I know I need a lot of pulp. So I only had one pulp factory, and I also had a lot of space over here by the shipping area. So I thought this would be a good place to add some warehouses. There's my furniture factory. I already have a warehouse there, but I do want to add some more warehouses. We have a lot of space there, and this is right in the shipping area. So I thought this would be a good way to also get the goods out, and it would just be a lot more storage. I placed every single unique factory there is in the game, and that's a lot of goods that we're going to need. So I definitely went around and placed a lot of warehouses, and they're also near cargo. So this way they can get pushed around with the cargo trains from one station to another. So we do have a lot of cargo trains. We have cargo ships that the goods can get around without just being pushed around by trucks. So hopefully it'll work. So here's a little overview of the space that I'm going to put a lot of the unique factories and warehouses in. I just thought it was a good space. It has a lot of networking over here. It's got the shipping, the cargo ship, the cargo train, the road network. You're right close to the highway. The airport's all there. The oil's right there. So I thought it was a great spot for all these factories. And I do break up some in other areas as well. Over by the trains, we had a little bit of room. And I thought it was kind of cool with the trains running through to kind of pass these factories and warehouses. It just looked like a really good idea. So, yeah, I'm going to continue to let this play out. There's not much to talk about, really. Really, it's just laying them all in and getting them to get the goods they need. So that's basically what you do at unique factories. You have to make sure that they can get a pretty steady stream of the products they need. So one of the factories is a shipyard, and that needs to be on water. So I decided to place it down in here because we had some space. I looked up in here and it just was too tight, but right here was like a perfect spot for it. So I ended up putting it in right there. So just like our industries, I do a lot of one-way roads. I kind of get the traffic flowing in and out, and this way it doesn't build up traffic, because it can get quite cluttered if you don't manage it properly. And so I made sure that I put a one-way system in so they can go around and around, and if they need to pick something up, they can come back around and grab it and come back in again. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of back and forth. And we all know with back and forth, you run into everybody trying to turn right, turn left, and they clog up the roads really quickly. So this way, you have them coming in, going out, and then coming back in again. So over here, I wanted to utilize some of the space that we had in between the airports and the highway. And I thought this is where I was talking about by the railroads here. There's a lot of railroads going on in here, the tracks and stuff. And I thought this was a good place to also add some factories. And we have some quite large factories. That's another thing to keep in mind. These factories can run from tiny, like the bakery, to enormous. So you definitely need the space for it. So here's what I was saying before. I place a lot of warehouses next to the factories, and I see what the factories need, and then I usually put on what they need in the warehouses. So this way the goods are right next door, and hopefully they can just get them from one place to another without having to go too far. So here's one of those enormous size factories, and it's uniquely shaped, and it's actually nice because you can put a little warehouse like the medium size right up in front, and then I put off to the side a larger one. So I was just fitting in different size warehouses, which also gives it a lot more interest instead of just using the one side. that's the end of the episode here. And I just kind of take you through all the unique factories we put in, all the warehouses we put in, and we're getting super close to drawing an end to this series. We filled out just about every place we can absolutely fill out. I think the next video will be a tribute video, maybe with a little day-nighttime cycle going on, and showing off what we did from the beginning to the end. So it's been a ride, and yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making it. This series taught me a lot. I went from doing commentary to voiceover, and I'm really not sure how you guys like it. I don't know which you prefer. I would definitely love to see some comments below. Commentary versus voiceover, let's play with long episodes versus these 15-20 minute shorter videos. I would love to see comments down below. Because I don't know what you guys want to see. I don't know when I'm going to start my next series. It's something I'm thinking about and looking over, and how I want to go about it. This series was supposed to be a let's play, no editing series, but I wasn't getting the views. I mean, I was getting a few views, but it wasn't really going very far. So midway, I had to switch up my thought process and see how it went. And I did do better, you know. So I think you guys like the shorter videos, but there are some of you that really like the longer videos. So if you guys can leave me a comment and let me know, I'd really appreciate it. And if you subscribe to my channel, I just want to do the best I can for all of you. So that is why I love your opinions. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Bye.